Good evening, everyone, and welcome to a new session. So, it's already 12th of June. We are like 13 days away from our NTA net exam, right? I know right now many of you are tensed, many of you are panicking that what will happen in the exam, but trust me, it will be just fine, right? So, with that positivity in mind, let's get started with our session tonight, shall we? Right. Let me start by sharing my screen with you all. Yes. Can you all see the screen? Yes. Right. Yes. So let's go. Let's get started. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the session. Please like the session, okay? Yes, please do like it. Now, let's move on to the first question for tonight. Okay. This is our session number 12. Yes, chalo. Arrange the following works in the correct chronological order of their year of publication. So when were these works published? Tell me. What would be the correct order? Cry the Peacock by Anita Desai was published in which year? Cry the Peacock by Anita Desai was published in 1963. Cry the Peacock by Anita Desai was published in 1963. Yes, correct. Then, A Bend in the Ganges. A Bend in the Ganges by Manohar Malgaonkar was published in which year? 1964. 1964. Okay, right. The Foreigner by Arun Joshi. The Foreigner by Arun Joshi was published in which year? The Foreigner by Arun Joshi was published in? Correct, correct. The Foreigner by Arun Joshi was published in 1968. 1968. Then A Silence of Desire. A Silence of Desire by Kamala Markandaya. By Kamala Markandaya was published in which year? It was published in 1960. 1960. And lastly, A Time to Be Happy. A Time to Be Happy by Nayantara Sehgal was published in 1958. 1958. So the correct order should be Nayantara Sehgal should come first, right? So E, D, A, B, C. E, D, A, B, C. A Time to Be Happy, A Silence of Desire, Cry the Peacock, A Bend in the Ganges, and lastly, The Foreigner. The Foreigner, right? So tell me now, which is a memoir by Nayantara Sehgal? Which is a memoir by Nayantara Sehgal? Which is a memoir by Nayantara Sehgal? It is Prison and the Chocolate Cake. Prison and the Chocolate Cake. It's a memoir by Nayantara Sehgal. Nayantara Sehgal. Right. Next. It's the match the following question. Baby Kamble, Lakshman Gaikwar, P. Shivakami, Sharan Kumar Limbale. So here you have to match these Dalit texts. These Dalit texts. Baby Kamble wrote The Prisons We Broke. Lakshman Gaikwar wrote The Branded. P. Shivakami wrote The Grip of Change. And Sharan Kumar Limbale wrote Akarmashi. Akarmashi, right? Yes. So see, The Prisons We Broke, originally called Jina Amucha, is one of the first autobiographies by a Dalit woman. It is by Baby Kamble. The Branded, originally called Uchalya, it describes the lives of the criminal tribes in Maharashtra. The Branded by Lakshman Gaikwar. The Grip of Change is a landmark Tamil Dalit novel by P. Shivakami. P. Shivakami. And Akarmashi, or The Outcast, is a text of Marathi Dalit literature by Sharan Kumar Limbale. Sharan Kumar Limbale. Sharan Kumar Limbale is also famous for which text? Sharan Kumar Limbale wrote Towards an Aesthetics of Dalit Literature. Right? Sharan Kumar Limbale is very popular. Right? Okay. Okay. Please like the session, everyone. Okay. Right. Again, another match the following question. Thy hand, great anarch, looking back, memoirs of my working life, the tribal world of warrior Elwin. Here, who wrote which work? Thy hand, great anarch. It's a work by Nirad C. Chaudhary. Nirad C. Chaudhary. Right? Then B4, Looking Back, is by Dhondo Keshav Karve. Looking Back, it's by Dhondo Keshav Karve. Memoirs of My Working Life is by M. Visheshwaraya. M. Vishweswaraya. Vishweswaraya. And lastly, The Tribal World of Warrior Elwin is by Warrior Elwin. Okay? Thy Hand, Great Anarch is by Nirad C. Chaudhary. The man who wrote the very famous work called The Autobiography of an Unknown Indian. The Autobiography of an Unknown Indian, published in 1951. Published in 1951. Yes, Looking Back is by Dhondo Keshav Karve. All right. Okay. Next. While Gayatri Spivak focuses on the shudder of the original text in her translations, which theorist often associated with the others, okay, famously argued that actually I was dealing with a list of major uh, Indian feminists, and from there I got the inspiration of this question, and that's why there's allusion to in your list. Don't worry about it, it's just a typo when I was making this question because I was looking at all the major Indian feminists, right? So, which theorist here famously argued in Citing Translation 1992 that translation in a colonial context is not a neutral act of meaning transfer, but a site of interpellation that historically functioned as a tool of colonial administration. Translation as a tool of colonial administration. It is Tejaswini Niranjana, who in her work Citing Translation argued that translation in a colonial context is not a neutral act of meaning transfer. It is not a neutral act of meaning transfer. Okay, please remember Tejaswini Niranjana, very important. Tejaswini Niranjana. All right. Chalo, match the following. Shashi Tharoor, Arvind Adiga, Rohinton Mistry, Vikram Chandra. Shashi Tharoor wrote dash. Rohinton Mistry wrote Tales from Firoz Shah Bagh. Aravind Adiga wrote Between the Assassinations. Shashi Tharoor wrote The $5 Smile. And Vikram Chandra wrote Love and Longing in Bombay. Right? So while famous for the great Indian novel, Shashi Tharoor's collection, The $5 Smile, it highlights his earlier short fiction. Post The White Tiger, Aravind Adiga released Between the Assassinations, a collection of interconnected stories set in the fictional town of Kittur. Then Rohinton Mistry's debut work, Tales from Firoz Shah Bagh, consists of 11 short stories about the residents of a Parsi apartment complex in Mumbai. And Vikram Chandra, best known for Sacred Games. His collection Love and Longing in Bombay uses a frame narrative to tell stories of ghost encounters and modern life. Okay, The $5 Smile by Shashi Tharoor, Between the Assassinations by Aravind Adiga, Tales from Firoz Shah Bagh by Rohinton Mistry, and Love and Longing in Bombay by Vikram Chandra. Okay, right. Next. The Indianization of English by Brajbi Kachru was published in Dash. This book explores how English transformed into an indigenous Indian language by adapting its vocabulary, syntax, and cultural context, while also introducing his foundational sociolinguistic framework for classifying world Englishes. So, Brajbi Kachru's The Indianization of English was published in which year? Everyone, please like the session. Yes, 1983. 1983. That's correct. So if you're preparing for the upcoming December NET exam, you can join our Vallat UGC NET English Premium online course. The classes in this course will start from 10th of July. Okay? And here you will get sessions both in the morning and in the evening as well. Okay, right? Good evening, Ashri. Hi. All right. Which of the given statements here are correct about Bama's Karukku? You all know about this text. Bama's Karukku. Tell me. Which are the correct statements here about Bama's Karukku? Karukku is recognized as the first autobiography by a Dalit woman in Tamil. The text critiques the Catholic Church for its internal practice of caste discrimination. Translated from Tamil into English by Minni Krishnan. ABD, you are saying? Let's look at the answer, shall we? Correct statements about Bama's Karukku. Yes, ABD is correct. So, statement A is correct that Bama's Karukku is a foundational text in Tamil Dalit literature. Statement B is also correct that a major theme here is the protagonist's disillusionment with the church's failure to provide equality. But statement C is incorrect because it was translated into English by Lakshmi Holmstrom. Lakshmi Holmstrom. Statement D is also correct that the imagery of the Palmyra leaf represents both the pain of oppression and the freshness of the word in its dialect. But E is incorrect. The narrative is non-linear and reflective. often shifting between childhood memories and adult realizations. Okay? Yes, Ranjit, you are right. This text was translated into English by Lakshmi Holmstrom. That's correct. So A, B, D are correct statements about Bama's Karukku. Did you all like the question? Yes. Was it helpful? All right. Next. Which of the following Indian English novels were both published after 1955 and resulted in their respective authors receiving the Sahitya Academy Award for that specific work? It's a very precise question. You have to figure out which works here were published not only after 1955, but they also got the Sahitya Academy Award. Okay? Is the question clear to you all? Here you have to find out the works which were not only published after 1955, but they also got the Sahitya Academy Award. So here I have merged chronology and award. Here I have merged chronology and award. Let's look at the correct answer now. It is ACE, the guide, published in 1958. It won R.K. Narayan the Sahitya Academy Award in 1960. The first time the award was given for English. Okay. Untouchable, 1935, so it won't be considered. The Serpent and the Rope, published in 1960, so yes. And it also got the Sahitya Academy Award in 1964. Nectarine Nasiv came in 1954, so we won't consider this. But Morning Face by Mulk Raj Anand was published in 1968, and it got the Sahitya Academy Award in 1971. So the guide, The Serpent and the Rope, and Morning Face by Mulk Raj Anand. These three are the novels which were not only published after 1955, but they also got the Sahitya Academy Award. Option 2. Option 2, ACE. All right. Next question. Here you have a question from the classical text Arthashastra. Which of the following statements are true about the Arthashastra? Arthashastra is by Kautilya. Arthashastra is by Kautilya. A, B, D, A, C, D, B, D, E, A, C, E. You guys are saying it is A, C, D. Pakka. Let's check. Let's check. Okay. The correct answer would be A, C, D. Yes, Ranjit, Arshi, you guys are correct. A is true that Arthashastra is structured into 15 adhikaranas and 180 prakaranas. This work is systematically divided into 15 books covering topics from internal administration to foreign policy. B is false because while it mentions Saptanga, the Swami is the most vital element, not the Mitra. C is true. The manuscript was famously rediscovered in the Mysore Oriental Library in the early 20th century. D is also true that the mandala theory is a core concept of its foreign policy, suggesting geopolitical circles where immediate neighbors are often rivals. But E is false. It is historically associated with the Maurya Empire. Gupta nahi. It was composed in the 4th century BCE during the Maurya Empire. Since NTA has, in the recent years, been very inclined towards Sanskrit aesthetics and classical texts, so I thought it would be a nice thing to include this question. This question from Kautilya's Arthashastra. And I'm planning that in the coming week also, from Monday to Friday, I would deal with more advanced questions of Indian literature. Okay. Are you all okay with that, or do you want me to start with criticism and theory? You let me know in the comments and we will proceed accordingly. All right. You can let me know in the offline comments if you want me to start with criticism and theory and all that, or do Indian literature more. Okay, right. Okay. Changiya Rukh. Oh. Hi. हमने आंसर दे दिया. It's okay. Changiya Rukh by Balbir Madhopuri is a pioneering Punjabi Dalit autobiography. Changiya Rukh by Balbir Madhopuri is a pioneering Punjabi Dalit autobiography. Literally translating to a loped, slashed, and dwarfed tree, it serves as a powerful metaphor for the systematic stunting of the Dalit community by the Indian caste system, while also celebrating their defiant resilience and ultimate triumphs. Okay, Changiya Rukh by Balbir Madhopuri is a pioneering Punjabi Dalit autobiography. Please memorize these titles and the authors. Okay, so Changiya Rukh by Balbir Madhopuri. It's a Punjabi Dalit autobiography. All right. So yeah, you guys can let me know in the comments what do you want me to do in the next week, and we will do accordingly. Right? And do like the session. Okay. Chalo then, that's all for tonight from our side. I hope you guys loved the session and enjoyed answering these questions. Okay. And do join our Vallat UGCNet English Premium online course. In this course, we will offer you classes for both paper 1 and 2. All right. Great then. So take care. Bye. Do have a lovely weekend. Good night. Yes.